Parents often come to me looking for a framework to help them make decisions, the many difficult decisions that parents need to make in the process of being parents, particularly in the area of preparing their son or daughter for college, or dealing, once the student is in college, dealing with difficult situations like academic warning, academic probation, and even academic suspension. Sometimes it doesn't necessarily get to a low GPA, like below a 2.0. Sometimes it's just not making the grades, earning the grades that they were expecting to earn, college being a little more difficult than the student was expecting or was equipped for. So this is why I'm so excited about the topic that I'll be presenting on later on in a conference called Learning Disabilities Association. I'll be presenting there in Orlando later on this month. And the topic is resilience. And resilience is defined as the capacity to face adversity, to the traits, the skills, the character that it takes to continue in a less than perfect world with optimism and confidence. Wouldn't that be great? Wouldn't it be wonderful if we were all like that, if we were resilient? And that's why I'm so excited about this topic, because I believe we can learn to be resilient. I think we can instill resilience in our children. So I'll be co-presenting with my colleague, Dr. Carolyn Parcells, and we'll be presenting on this book called Building Resilient Children and Teens by Dr. Kenneth Ginsburg. We like this book because it's just so well put together as a nice, easy read about building resilience. But in this video, I'm not going to go into the 7 C's of resilience. I'm going to talk to you about the 3 underlying themes that support the premise of building resilience in our children. The first undergirding theme is unconditional love. Now, parents tell me all the time, oh, my kid knows I love him. We tell our kid all the time, we love him, we love her, we love him. But if they don't turn in their homework, they're getting zeros. Or, but if they don't pass this class, they're going to lose their scholarship. So every time you use the word but in a sentence, all the words that came before the but just got negated. So whatever you said before the but just got negated. I love you, but if you don't, and then you just finish the sentence. So you just negated all the stuff that came in before the but. So I want to challenge you to examine your words, examine your actions, examine what's going on the inside of behind your words regarding how love is perceived by your son or daughter. What does love look like? What does it sound like? What does it feel like for a child who is in middle school, for a child who's in high school, for a son or daughter who is in college? And even from one child to another child, what does love look like, sound like, feel like to that individual? The second undergirding theme in the 7 C's of resilience is expectations. Our children will live up to our expectations or live down to our expectations. And I'm not talking about really high expectations. I mean, like perfectionism. I'm not talking about perfectionism. A 4.0, a perfectly clean and kept room, like in baseball, pitching a perfect game. I'm not talking about perfectionism or unrealistic expectations. I'm talking about the character strengths that we want our children to demonstrate, the wonderful human being that we want our children to become. Things like the expectation of respect, of generosity, of kindness, of perseverance. Now, the third undergirding pillar of the 7 C's of resilience is how powerful your role is as a parent to influence your child. You're in a wonderful position to be a role model, an example to your children. How do you live out your own life when you face difficulties, when you face adversities? How is your own resilience? What do you do when no one's looking? How do you deal with stress, anxiety? How do you deal with failure in your own life? So we're in a wonderful, even when we think our children aren't looking, aren't paying attention, or don't even care, or even when we think our children aren't present, our children learn from what we do way more than what we tell them. So those are the 3 undergirding themes that support the 7 C's of resilience. And I'm not going to tell you the 7 C's of resilience in today's video. Maybe I'll share some more during the week as I prepare for my presentation. All right. I hope you got something from today's video. This is Ruth Bomar, your online academic coach.